Hollywood, California, where stars' names line the streets and where famous is fabulous. Today, it's a corner table behind the scenes at one of the hottest game shows in the country, Hollywood Squares.
This week, everybody loves Hedlund.
John Davidson called. He needs his outfit back. Okay.
You know, you try to be nice to these Canadians, and what does it get you?
Oh, support me. Go ahead. I have a green card. Ask the question. Go ahead.
And while the guests on this show may not always take the questions seriously,
To help indecisive pedestrians, Whoopie, instead of walk, don't walk signs, some cities are installing signals that do what?
Yell at you. They say, wrong, dummy!
their lunch breaks are no laughing matter. So how do you feed 9 hungry squares their 3 squares a day? Well, actually, their lunch is prepared by the exclusive Spago Hollywood. And today we'll take you into Spago's kitchen to learn how to cater to the stars.
This is all the stuff to make Whoopie's lunch today. We have risotto, lots of Parmesan cheese, butter, special Lowry seasoning salt, the way she likes it.
Plus, we'll sit down with Hollywood Squares host Tom Bergeron and get the scoop on some of the show's celebs.
And every time he got too out of line, he was annoying Trisha Yearwood. I would just run down from the podium and squirt him.
We'll get a backstage tour from the wild and wacky regular square comedy writer Bruce Valanche.
We are the ones who cater all of this stuff for the Hollywood Squares. And this is put together for us every day. The 9 fat, cholesterol-enhanced celebrities who are up in the squares.
And we'll catch up with our old pal and center square, Whoopi Goldberg.
I love this man. I love this show.
We care about each other. We do. We don't
We're backstage at Hollywood Squares. Viewers see the show during the week, but Hollywood Squares actually tapes on weekends. Celebrities are at the CBS studios in Hollywood all day and tape a week's worth of shows in just one day.
So, you getting ready for lunch?
No, we have one more day.
This is a good way to serve prison time. 5 days in one.
Keeping their energy up and their picky palates satisfied is no easy task. Show executives turn to the trendy and tasty Spago Hollywood to prepare the elaborate meals that satisfy celebrity taste buds.
If you want a well-heeled, fabulous meal, everyone knows Spago's makes great food. Wolfgang doesn't cut any corners.
It's amazing, the lunches. That's why all of us are here. I mean, we love Whoopie, and it's fun to sit in a plexiglass box under Bo Derek. But,
Work at the Spago Hollywood kitchens begins as early as 2 a.m. On today's menu,
We're going to have Spago Classic Caesar salad, a grilled tuna niçoise salad, which is tuna loins that are grilled rare, and then sliced. They'll go on top of a niçoise salad with a mustard vinaigrette. There's a lobster salad, which is going to be, you take Maine lobsters, you cook the meat, you dice it, it's going to be with a tarragon sauce. There's going to be cold grilled chicken breasts on a rustic roll with a spicy mayonnaise and Swiss cheese. My other sous chef makes the most amazing hummus you've ever had in your life, nice and spicy, but with roasted garlic and chickpeas. We'll do that with little pitas as a little snack thing they can have. And then we do whole grilled beef tenderloins with a nice green peppercorn sauce and our famous mustard crushed potatoes. So there.
but just as all the prep is falling into place, an unexpected call from the executive producer of the Hollywood Squares.
She's going to have the risotto and the chicken today? Okay, perfect. Okay, bye. That's what it's like to cater. Special orders. Kelly, the executive producer of the show, sometimes has a few special requests and things that she likes to eat because we're there a lot, so there's some special things that she likes to eat. Today she wants to have the poached salmon that we're making, and she wants to have a little bit of salad without the dressing because she's, not quite sure if she's going to like it. And Whoopi Goldberg is always very particular, like some little bit different things, so we make her a risotto that has lots of cheese and lots of butter in it, and a roasted chicken breast with a little Lowry seasoning on top, which she loves, which is different than what we're necessarily going to make for the green room. But if it's something that they want, and they're the ones that are there every week, and they're special, so we make them whatever they'd like to have.
So while Gina was dealing with the crisis at hand, the fun was about to begin on the set.
From Everybody Loves Raymond, Garrett. Ladies and gentlemen, Whoopie!
9. What do you say? Hello, stars.
How are we doing? We're doing well. It's 10:30, I hope. We pulled the car around. Everything should be just about ready to be loaded, and we should be there. We have to be ready on the table at CBS at 1:30, so we have 3 hours. Should be plenty of time. This is all the stuff to make Whoopie's lunch today. We have risotto, lots of Parmesan cheese, butter, special Lowry seasoning salt, the way she likes it. This is going to last us a very long time. Very long time. We could do CBS until the year, 3000. And we got about like 15, 20 minutes to get everything loaded up and get over there. We don't want to be late. Brian, are you ready to go?
Ready to go?
You got everything you need?
Yeah.
Excellent. Have fun. Have fun storming the castle.
Coming up next, will Spago chefs make it to the studio on time? Plus, Whoopie tells us how she spices up her life.
But what about the Lowrys? Are we still getting the Lowrys into our recipes? I remember when we were at the Pink Teacup.
Well, you see, now I've had to discuss with them adding some seasoning salt to my food.
Right.
Because everyone else, no one else eats salt but me.
And Tom Bergeron talks about a joke that went bad.
Yes, can you imagine that? Marlon Brando's sitting down to watch Hollywood Squares with a quart of Briars, and he sees at a buffet, and he gets on the phone.
And he calls Whoop.
Whoopie, I am strangely displeased.
The celebrities are winding down their third show, and they're getting hungry.
You know, food is very important, and I can't support it enough. So keep watching the Food Network. Who's your target audience? If
Hungry people.
Oh, okay.
I have to go eat now.
And what will you be having?
I don't know, something from Emerald, something saucy.
Spago arrived on time, but the crunch is on to finish their final preparation. While Spago Hollywood worked on lunch, we grabbed a private bite with Hollywood Squares host Tom Bergeron.
And Tom Bergeron, thank you for taking us behind the scenes of the Hollywood
My
Squares.
pleasure.
The infamous green room.
Yes,
With the
yes.
pinball machines and food from
Spago's, who regularly provide us lunch midway through our grueling
it's a
taping
tough job.
Oh.
Somebody has to do it.
Oh, the sweat that pours off my brow.
Do you feel like you're stealing money? I mean, you
Yeah,
spend the
it is.
weekends with the
It
funniest
is.
people in
Yes,
show business
yeah.
eating food from Spago.
Yeah, it really is. I've never worked a schedule like this before. All of my previous experience was with live television and radio. And, like most jobs, they actually expect you to show up every day.
But just weekends,
no,
though.
but this is weekends. We do 5 in a day. We do 3 in the morning. We break for lunch here in the green room with our video games and Spago food. And then we go back and we do the Thursday and Friday shows with a brand new audience. And those are the ones, Bill, that if you watch the show with any regularity.
Thursday and Fridays,
Yeah.
after lunch.
After lunch.
Yeah.
Those are the ones where I can't remember which contestant's turn it is, and we're all getting much giddier, and, all the blood's in our stomach.
Tom and I enjoyed some of Spago Hollywood's special dishes. Tom's Caesar salad and his favorite, Jewish pizza. I had tuna sashimi and chopped salad.
And who's given you the most trouble? I mean, obviously some guests are better than other guests. Who's been the peskiest guest?
Who's in terms of? Well, see, a lot of this I don't see.
No, I meant for you. When
Oh,
you're
for me personally?
You got to deal with. You're like the ringmaster.
Well, in sort of an on-camera teasing way,
Right.
Caroline and I mix
Caroline
it
raised
up quite a
Caroline
lot,
Goldberg.
and
Right,
she's
big
part
talent.
of the family,
Big talent.
and we'll tease each other back and forth, quite a bit.
How about Richard Simmons?
Richard Simmons, I actually had to squirt.
Squirt?
Yes, I had when I first started interviewing Richard back in the days I was doing daytime talk.
I've interviewed him a few times myself.
Well,
He's very loud.
He's very loud, and you have to treat him as if you're training a cat.
See,
And
I
here's what
never got that.
See,
down.
that's
I treat
the
him
thing.
like a dog.
Oh,
Stay.
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
work.
What I found is I got a spray bottle and I put disco sweat on it because that was one of his exercise videos. And every time he got too out of line, he was annoying Trisha Yearwood. I would just run down from the podium and squirt him.
And that, Trisha.
Yes, and he would sit very carefully in his little square.
On air?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Tom remembers a few favorite jokes from Hollywood Squares.
There are a couple that I like of Gilbert's.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Gilbert Gottfried, who's wonderful.
And he's always got that.
That's right.
I'm passing a stone, Bill. I hope you don't mind.
That's what he
Yeah, it has that feel. So one in the first season that had a little bit of a fallout after was I said, Gilbert, what species has the largest eyes? And he went,
Marlon Brando at a buffet.
So we were going to incorporate, it's a great line, isn't it?
Brando jokes.
We were going to incorporate that clip into our promo campaign for season 2. And Whoopi and I are in New York and we're taping the promos and we don't have that one scheduled. I said, Whoopi, how come we're not doing the Brando cut? She said, we were going to, but he called me at home.
Marlon did?
Yes, can you imagine that?
Oh,
Marlon Brando's sitting down to watch Hollywood Squares with a quart of Briars, and he sees,
At a buffet.
and he gets on the phone.
And he calls Whoop.
Whoopi, I am strangely displeased. You know?
And
Yeah,
Whoopi
so
Whoopi
that
can
was...
find like a small, horse head. in
Right,
her
exactly
bed,
right.
you know?
So that...
More from Tom a little later. But first, let's find out how that tasty Jewish pizza is created.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a pizza dough that's already been proofed. It is a yeast dough. We're gonna smash it down to take the air bubbles out of it, so that we don't get too many air bubbles when we're done. I go around, I'm gonna make a little edge so we get a nice crust.
It's brick oven pizza crust, topped with chili oil, red onions,
And that's it. You can buy pizza dough at the store and do it any which way you want. All you need are the red onions and a little bit of oil. You don't have to have garlic oil. Chili's just fine. Add a little bit of spice. And then we're going to bake it in our wood-burning pizza oven that we have here at Spago. You wait till it's got a nice crispy crust, a little bit brown, and the onions are cooked. Now we're going to take our dill creme fraiche that we just made. We're going to spread it on our pizza crust. We're going to use our home smoked salmon and some chives. And now we're going to put a little bit of black caviar on top of our pizza. And that's the way you make a Jewish pizza, Spago style.
As the stars finished their morning taping, we caught up with them on their way to lunch.
Feeling great.
Is it a hungry day for you today?
How can it be hungry? I'm tipping the scales at 260. I'm eating like Oprah on
260.
hiatus.
What do you do to keep the weight up?
A lot of chowder. I love chowder. No, it's just, this way when, Whoopi gets rough with me, I could get in a headlock and just go to commercial.
You've done the show a couple times.
I have.
Right.
I have.
Here's
yeah.
what I want to know. We
Sure.
can't take the camera in behind the green door of the
Yeah.
green room.
Right.
What really happens in the green room at lunchtime?
Well, they won't let you go in there, I'll be honest, because they don't like you.
Yeah.
It's just as simple. Well, actually what happens is we get a couple of Latinos from Polo Loco. They come in and they hose us down and they feed us bread. Can you say that?
Yeah, sure.
I can't get away with that up in the square.
You can get away
He's
with
my
it.
agent.
No, we're on cable. You can get away with anything.
It's amazing, the lunches. That's why all of us are here. I mean, we love Whoopi, and it's fun to sit in a plexiglass box under Bo Derek. But it's an amazing lunch. It's catered by Spago,
right?
Actually, and Wolfgang Puck comes around and puts on the chapstick and tells Whoopi how brilliant she is.
Have you seen the Food Network at all?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of it.
You've seen the network?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. What do you think of Emerald?
I think he's, coming from a guy who's not very articulate, I don't know what he's saying. I'd ask him, no, I do enjoy his show, but could you prepare a little more roadkill?
What, you got some on your head?
Yeah, I do have, you know what, and I got it the same way. There was a BAM involved at the time. Bam! Hey, let's throw that on my head.
How about Sarah Moulton cooking live?
Cooking live rocks, because it's, when you're watching a live cooking show, you go, oh no, is this really gonna happen? Is the flan gonna come out all right? Is the cake gonna fall? It's dangerous.
How about the two fat ladies?
Two fat ladies? Oh, okay.
Remember them?
Yeah.
I'm replacing one.
Are you?
I'm coming in.
I really didn't.
I'm a new fat lady.
Coming up, more visits with stars, including a behind-the-scenes tour with the always entertaining regular square Bruce Valanche.
It's called Schnecken.
Schnecken? Looks like a cinnamon
For many
bun.
years I thought it was a dirty word.
Yeah.
And then of course I ate it and discovered it's dirty food.
Our hungry stars are almost ready to eat. Upstairs, Spago Hollywood is racing to finish lunch. Behind the set, head writer and regular square Bruce Valanche gave us a tour of the snack table.
This is put together for us every day. The 9 fat, cholesterol-enhanced celebrities who are up in the squares.
What's your favorite stuff here, Bruce?
It's called
Schnecken.
Schnecken?
Looks like a cinnamon.
For many years I thought was a dirty word.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I ate it and discovered it's dirty food.
How about these? This is an apple type.
This is an apple thing.
I
These
had
are known
one
as
of these.
nipples of Venus, we call these. You may remember these from Amadeus. It's an apple and it's baked in, I'm not exactly sure what, an earring.
Who are you talking to, big
This is the
star?
Food Network because I'm a fat slob.
Really?
Yeah.
Food Network.
I wrote
Food
a book.
Network.
It's called I Ate All My Prop Food. And the food is so good here, you actually become a square.
Well,
Eventually.
actually, I'm
Yeah.
trying to find what is the difference between New York food and LA food.
Well, we in New York, we actually swallow our food. And, I'm trying to start that trend here. Okay, back to my makeup.
Back to your makeup.
The other regular on the show is executive producer Whoopi Goldberg. It was Whoop's idea to hire Spago to cater the stars.
Why Spago?
Well, because, you know, not everyone like me wants to eat at Roscoe's.
Roscoe's.
I would eat at Roscoe's every day if I could. But I realized that if you want a well-heeled, fabulous meal, everyone knows Spago's makes great food. Wolfgang doesn't cut any corners, and people are mostly skinny on our show.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You know, except for me, because I eat
didn't
at
notice that.
Roscoe's.
I didn't notice that. But
Yeah.
what about the Lowrys? Are we still getting the Lowrys into our recipes? I remember
Well,
when we
you
were
know-
at the Pink Teacup.
Well, you see, now I've had to discuss with them adding some seasoning salt to my food.
Right.
Because everyone else, no one else eats salt but me.
So how do you like being on the show?
Oh, it's
I mean,
great.
It's such a big hit.
It's great. It's great. You know, I don't have to pay a whole lot of attention to what I eat.
No.
You know, because I got Spago, and in the evening I have Roscoe, and so it's a nice balance.
Spago and Roscoe.
Yes.
Hey, we heard yesterday, I don't know if this is true, I never heard this about you. You don't like to fly, and you have a bus that goes back and
Bro,
forth?
you don't remember I don't like to
No,
fly
I don't remember
crushed.
that.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I would do anything. And also the food is terrible.
So you bus back and forth?
Yes.
How long does it take on a bus
2
trip?
days.
A 2-day bus
Yeah, I
trip?
have 2 drivers and great food.
What's it like?
You should, this is the
I'll
next
come on the
time.
bu- anytime.
We should do a culinary trip across country at some point.
Whoopi, you tell me how to set that up, and I'll be on
But
that
you know how much
bus.
trouble we would get in?
I know
Because
that.
you would never be able to shoot anything we did.
Well, it'd be
You
fun.
couldn't
So what do
shoot
you eat? What do
anything.
you eat on the bus?
Lots of great stuff.
Yeah?
Lots of great stuff. Yeah.
Does it all come from New York, and then you pack it up in LA and go? You don't make a lot of stops?
No,
So you
no.
were on a bus for 2 days, like literally without stopping?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, look, I know you got to get changed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Upstairs, the food was being plated.
This is going to be part of the tuna niçoise salad that we're making with grilled rare tuna. It has arugula, tiny baby olives. It's going to have potatoes and little roasted potatoes and little tiny baby quail eggs. And roasted potatoes. And then I'll dress it with a white wine mustard vinaigrette.
And the table was being set. There was Caesar salad, beef tenderloin with green pepper sauce, lobster salad, and more.
Sometimes the stars, they bring the talent that's in the squares. They all bring a bunch of people with them, and usually it's like 1 or 2 people, like an agent or a friend or, you know, their wife or like one of their children. Today, just a couple of the talents in the squares have brought like 7, 8, and 9 people. So we have a full green room, which means probably about like 50 to 60 people instead of about 30 to 40. So we're going to be busy.
There was only one thing missing, the stars. So I asked Tom,
What happens here in the green room when that door closes?
Well, we've just done 3 shows when we come up here for lunch. So there's a lot of sort of camaraderie and commiserating and saying, you know...
Funny, you were funny. Stuff like
right,
that. Yeah.
this joke worked and that one didn't. Looking over material that might be used in the afternoon.
Right.
Hanging out, just my favorite lunch hour here last season, sitting on that couch. It was me and 3 other people. And the 3 other people were Carol Burnett, Harvey Korman, and Tim Conway. And
That's
I
what
was
I mean.
in heaven.
You must feel like you're stealing.
Absolutely.
What? They are still, particularly Tim Conway.
He's a riot.
Tim Conway is one of the funniest people
Absolutely.
in the world.
And he has
I mean,
lost nothing off his fastball. Let me tell you, he was absolutely brilliant on the show.
Yeah.
And to sit there over lunch and talk to them about their show was, you know, for me, it was just like the highlight of the day.
Our cameras weren't invited into the green room for lunch, but host Tom Bergeron had some closing thoughts.
You know, we close each of our shows on Bill Boggs Culinary Table
With a purging.
Yes, we go into that room. Yeah, camera's not allowed.
Okay.
And that's it, and we do it take two.
It's Supermodel Week.
We do take two. I'd like you to offer a toast to our Food Network viewers.
All right,
What would you like to wish them?
I wish you a happy life where when you see your challenges, you do not shrink from them, and please chew thoroughly.